everybody, Yankee here. You know, you might be surprised how easy it is to convince yourself of stupid things when you're wanting a new gun. And one of those things I find it quite easy to convince myself of is that, these guns that I don't use anymore, don't shoot very much anymore, they don't bring me joy anymore. I should sell them and get a new gun. And then later, I regret that decision and it makes me sad. And people have asked me, what are the top guns that you used to own that you don't own anymore because you sold them like an idiot that you most regret selling? Well, today I thought I would do a little list of the top 5 guns that I have sold that I regret selling. And I'm going to start with a little honorable mention here. The first one I'm going to mention is a gun that really doesn't amount to a great deal of sadness that I sold it because I could probably get it again if I ever wanted to. But it is a 380 NAA Guardian. Now, if you're not familiar with this gun, it is a 380 ACP pistol in a firearm a tiny bit smaller than the Tomcat from Beretta, which is only a 32. Now, it doesn't have the cool flip-up barrel or anything like that, but it's a very small 380. And I really liked this gun. And I could probably get it again if I ever actually had the money and wanted to make the effort. But I still regret selling it, so this one gets an honorable mention. All right, now we'll start the list with the number 5 gun on the list that I regret selling. And it is a simple gun. It's the Rohrbal R9S. I had the original one at the beginning that actually had the carbon fiber grips. First, I sold the carbon fiber grips like an idiot, and then I sold the Rohrbal, thinking, I can always get them again later. And of course, they went out of business. Now, I do have the RM380, which is the 380 version, but it's not as nice as the actual Rohrbal because the actual Rohrbal was 9mm. I regret selling it. At the time, it was a very expensive, very small gun. And, it is 9mm, so that's one strike against it. But at the time, it was one of the most desirable boutique guns or bougie guns you could get. I owned one, but I convinced myself to sell it. And to this day, I kind of regret it. All right, at number 4, we have a gun that is probably not the best gun in the world, but it was a gun I owned that I really liked. It was the stainless Stoeger Luger clone. This is, just like it sounds, it is a clone of the Luger, but it's made in stainless steel by Stoeger. This gun was super cool, and I really liked it, but I guess I didn't appreciate it enough when I had it. You never know what you have till it's gone, because now that it's gone, I really miss it. And it's not real easy to find one of these. If I decided tomorrow I wanted to replace it, wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world to do. I was lucky enough to own this gun. I enjoyed this gun. It shot very nicely. Like I said, maybe not the best design in the world. We're all familiar with Lugers, but it was something different. And I really enjoyed owning it, and I kick myself every great once in a while. Whenever I think about it, I kick myself for selling this gun. All right, number 3 on the list of guns I most regret selling is probably the most useless gun on the list. And it was kind of difficult to shoot, but it was a very cool gun. It was a Cop Derringer. This is one of those little 4-barrel 357 Magnum Derringers. And I really liked this gun. It was very cool. The cool factor alone made this gun worth owning. Came in a little nice presentation box. I had fun with it at the range because it was a novelty. And whenever you shot it, people were like, what the frick is that? So really enjoyed the gun while I owned it. But, something else came along. Something caught my eye. Some gun floozy strutting by in their, low-cut holster. Made me stray, and I sold it. And like I said, the Cop Derringer, is one I regret selling every day. All right, at number 2 on the list is the gun I guess second most regret selling. And it is a gun that I put a lot of effort into because this gun came very rough. And it is the Detonics Combat Master. Now, the Detonics, when you bought them, you could buy them in 2 different levels of finish. You could get the ones that were completely finished and really nice, or you could get the rough finish ones. The one I ended up having a hold of was a rough finish gun, and I went through the process of making it like new again. I think I might actually have a video on that. I'll put it up if I do. But I put a lot of effort in this gun. Did a lot of refinishing on this gun. and really liked the way it turned out. But like I said, being fickle as I am, eventually I think I maybe started regretting it or resenting it for all the work I put into it, and it didn't seem to appreciate it. So I sold it, got something new, probably something I don't have anymore. But I kind of regret selling this gun. In fact, I really regret selling this gun. So it's number 2 on my list of guns I regret selling, my Detonics Combat Master. All right, now we're to the number 1 gun I regret selling, the gun I most regret selling, and it's one I'll never be able to get again, so I kick myself all the time for selling this gun just because I wanted something new. It was my Taurus 65 357 Magnum revolver. Now, this is where a lot of you are just like, well, this is a common gun, and it's not even that great of a gun. It's not like it's a Smith & Wesson. So why do you regret selling this gun? Just go get another one. Well, I could get another Model 65, but I couldn't get that Model 65. And the reason that gun was important to me is I had owned that gun for decades. And that was the gun in my video, How My Handgun or How My Gun Saved My Bacon in Birmingham, Alabama, which I'll link in the upper corner, which is a time that as a civilian, I actually had to draw my gun in self-defense at a time I felt my life was severely in danger during an attempted carjacking. That gun was there for me. That gun saved me. And therefore, it had a lot of sentimental value because that was the one gun that did that. And even though it did that, I had very little loyalty to it. I'm kind of a scumbag when it comes to things like this. And I sold it, like I said, just to get something new. And I regret it every day. That gun saved my life, and then I cast it out into the world. Now, I like to think that it ended up with someone that takes good care of it and appreciates it. Maybe it's defending other people's lives, maybe even in Birmingham, Alabama. I remember I had to ship it when I sold it, so it might even be in Birmingham right now, saving other people's bacon. But I do regret selling it because of the history I had with that gun and how that gun did help me protect my own life one night. So I regret selling that gun more than any other gun, the Taurus Model 65 that saved my bacon in Birmingham, Alabama. And that's my list of top 5 guns I regret selling. Have you sold a gun and regretted it later? I will have to say here, add a little caveat. Most guns I sell, I don't regret selling them. And I've sold more guns than I can count because I have bought a lot of guns, sold a lot of guns. You know, sometimes you got to pay for your hobby by cycling things through. And usually I don't regret it at all, but these ones I do regret. So let's hear from you in the comments section. Have you ever sold a gun that you regret, and what was it?